What's up, guys? Good morning, Americans and Australians. Good afternoon to all you viewers over in Europe and other parts of this wonderful world of ours. So before we get into the coverage for the Italian show, which has not started yet, it's not going to start for another hour, and that's just wellness and bikini, wanted to congratulate Logan Franklin for his win yesterday at the Florida Pro, and we're going to get into a little discussion as to what that means. Here was Logan last night in Florida, securing his 7th Olympia qualification in 9 years. He looks phenomenal. And this is the best quality video I could find. AJ Kelly Robert posted this, and he says he would have no problem with Bob Chick saying at the Olympia, "You're new Classic Olympia champion." And that's what I want to get into with you guys. I want to go to the live chat. And I want to start a poll as to what you guys think. So let me do that. Because some people feel Logan Franklin represents the true ideals of what classic physique is supposed to be. The lines, the elegance, the symmetry, the aesthetics, not necessarily thickness and size, which they would equate more towards bodybuilding, pure bodybuilding. I'm going to start a poll here. I can do it. I know I can do it. Okay. Free poll. Well, maybe not. Top chats. Add poll. All right. Well, I can't figure out how to do it right now, and that's okay. But I want to know what you guys think, because Logan is someone who has been knocking on the door of the Olympia title. Well, he hasn't come close to the Olympia title yet, but a lot of people feel this year is going to be a massive difference, because this was him earlier in the season, early March at the Arnold Classic, where he was the last man standing along with Mike Sommerfeld from Germany. Mike is the guy a lot of people feel is the heir apparent, the next in line for the Classic Physique Olympia title. It's been vacated by Chris Bumstead because Chris retired very young after 6 consecutive wins, and he's moving on to other stages of his life. He's now looking forward to having his second child with his wife. So that leaves the door open. A new champion is going to be crowned this year, next month, just in 6 weeks at the Olympia weekend. We're going to have a new Classic Physique champion, the first new one that we've had in 7 years. So that's exciting. But should it be Logan? Should it be Mike? Should it be Rough Diesel? Does Logan represent the true ideals? Now, one thing I want to say about Logan is he is a fantastic poser. He typically wins best poser. This was the Arnold Classic routine that he did. And he is a master. He spends a lot of time on his posing, which I would say the Classic Physique pros in general spend substantial amount of time on their posing routines and presentation, as opposed to the open pros. But nonetheless, Logan still stands out even in this division. I would say Logan and Rough Diesel, Terrence Ruffin, they're probably the two best posers in the Classic Physique division. I'd probably give the edge to Rough Diesel just a little bit. He's got a little bit more flair, but Logan is right there with him. And of course, presentation is weighed a little more heavily in Classic Physique than it is in the open division, because it's supposed to be harkening back to the days of old school bodybuilding, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, when we had people who gave us fantastic mesmerizing routines like Ed Corney, Muhammad, what's his name? The one that beat Lee Haney a few times, Bob Paris, Frank Zane, Lila Brada. We had some tremendous posers over the years. And Classic Physique has brought that back, because a lot of times in the open division, we'll see these really clunky routines where they just go from one side of the stage to the other, hitting a most muscular, a side chest, another most muscular, a few poses over and over again. Transitions aren't that well thought out or practiced. But these guys, especially someone like Logan, is a master of his craft. The presentation is just phenomenal. I'll go back to his photos. So Logan pulled off a tremendous win yesterday. Go back to some photos of that. Yeah, so here he was claiming victory. Fairly easy win, I'm guessing. I didn't look at the comparisons, but someone who's at his level is not going to have too much trouble. Yeah, these guys look really good. I don't want to take anything away from his competition. But Logan obviously was the heavy favorite. You can see the condition was just spot on, as it usually is. Now you can make critiques about him, and I want to hear from you guys. So let's get into some of your comments. Hello, Urs with the shocking upset. Let's go. Hope you're well, Ron. A little under the weather, a little summer cold, but I'll be okay. Mike has the advantage of having low bone density. Basically, his bone structure not weighing as much. Yeah, that is something about Mike that's very interesting. Good thing that you point that out. Because when you look at Mike, you wonder, how does this guy possibly make the weight for Classic Physique? He looks like he's much too heavy. I look at him and I'm still astonished that he makes the weight cap. But he does. He does it quite easily, I guess. Or, he doesn't have to suffer for days with no food and no fluid like I've heard the guys have to do in Classic. So Mike would be a different type of physique. He's definitely thicker. People would say that's a bodybuilder. But what is a bodybuilder? What is Classic Physique compared to bodybuilding? I mean, they're both bodybuilding. Classic Physique just seems to emphasize aesthetics more, a V-taper, a really small, flat midsection, presentation, of course. Things like bicep peak and quad sweep are important because we're trying to find the most aesthetically pleasing physique with substantial amount of muscle mass and excellent condition. It's a great total package, and that's why the division has grown so fast. It hasn't even been around 10 years, Classic Physique. I mean, open bodybuilding has been around for, I guess if you want to count the first Olympia, it's been 60 years now that we've had open bodybuilding. Classic Physique, much newer division, but many of the fans feel it represents what bodybuilding was supposed to be all about before the guys started getting a lot bigger and chasing size and freakiness became the order of the day. Back to your Logan and Ruff are too classic. I love Mike's physique, but isn't that much of a classic look like the other two? Yeah, I mean it's tough because then you start wondering, what is classic? What's the difference between classic? Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's him winning. Yeah, we'll go back to so this was the call out. This was your top five. This was your top five at the last Arnold Classic back in early March. We have Matt Grego, Logan Franklin, Mike Sommerfeld, Wesley Vissers, who has already pretty much told us, hinted enough that he's moving to open Wesley, and I think that's a great move from him. Michael DeBoule. It was a fantastic top five. A lot of different types of physiques up there. Just like in open, you'll have apples and oranges. The same thing in Classic. There's no one type of physique in Classic that wins consistently. You'll see taller, slimmer guys, and I say slimmer only in a relative way of speaking, because Logan Franklin is not a small guy. Wesley Vissers obviously not a small guy, but the taller guys with the longer limbs in Classic, they definitely have a different look than the shorter guys. And I mean, a lot of people felt that Bumstead he was the ideal. They kept choosing him over and over again, 6 years in a row as your Classic Physique Olympia champion. And Bumstead was a guy who's 6'1" and some change. I wouldn't say longer limbed. He had very good bone structure and proportions, but compared to the shorter guys, like the Breon Ansley, like Ruffin, he definitely had longer limbs, longer torso, proportionally to them. Let's see what else you guys got. Logan maxed out his weight cap. I don't know. That's a good question. When does Italy Pro start? Central time. So it's going to start in 1 hour. The judging, and I believe they're just going to run straight through to the finals. Maybe they'll have an intermission. They are going to have bikini and wellness are going to be judged before open. So when I say 1 hour, that's bikini and wellness, and we're assuming they start on time. And a lot of times these things do not start on time. I don't think we're going to see men's open judging in Italy for another probably close to 2 hours from now, or I should say more like 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah. But back to Logan. A lot of people. This is their Olympia champion. This is who they want to see win. And you know what? You're not wrong. Starts around lunchtime. That's why Samson's a better ambassador than Nick Walker. Nick basically hits mandatories in his posing routine. That being said, oh yeah, I mean, Nick is a good basic poser. He hits the basic poses very well. He gets the crowd going, basically on the strength of his physique, that freak factor. I don't think anyone's admiring Nick's prowess as a poser, that he's putting together these spectacular, mesmerizing routines the way Samson. I mean, Samson is also another guy who won best poser at the Olympia for a reason. Let's go back to Logan. Put him up there on stage again. Go back to this. When did it start? He weighs 212 on stage. We're talking about Logan. So Logan, I think he's 6 foot, just about 6 foot exactly. It's been a while since I interviewed him. I hope to interview him again soon. Oh, you're saying Mike? Mike weighs that much on stage? How tall is Mike? I think he's about 5'9". So I guess that's the cap. This year, there's no real standard when you think about it. CBM didn't look anything like Mike. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, there is no standard. Obviously, Bumstead. Do I have that clip? Bumstead and Mike were very, very different types of physiques. What do I have here? Bumstead Prague. Classic second call out. We don't want that. Let's see, top 3. I might have it. Sometimes I keep things, the video clips loaded for a long time. Yeah, there was their top 3, and 3 very, very different types of physiques. Somerfeld, Bumstead, and Urs. And EP09 just posted some pictures on a new YouTube video, and Urs has like a cutoff sweatshirt, and he's hitting some poses out in Milan, out in the street with people, and I don't see 30 extra pounds of muscle on him, guys. I don't. It's not to say he needs 30, but he looks a little bigger, but it doesn't look. We got to wait and see what he looks like on stage. You can't judge someone by how they look walk around. If you remember, they awarded more weight increase for those fights. So probably Mike could have asked someone. Well, they gave the weight increase was given to everyone across the board, so it didn't just benefit. When will the Italy show commence? The judging starts in an hour, and that's going to be bikini and wellness are going to go before bodybuilding. So those are probably going to take a good 40 minutes each, 30 to 40 minutes each. Classic is the better structure with perfect conditioning and a weight cap. Yeah. Yeah, obviously, if you really wanted to look at the parameters, the ideals, you would just look at the IFBB Pro website. What do they want to see in Classic? And maybe I'll take a look at that while we're look at the rules. Pro rules. What is Classic Physique? Well, we get the height and weight. All right, I'm going to share this tab right now. Okay, so what is Classic according to the actual IFBB Pro? First, they have the height and weight. So let me see. If Logan is 6 foot, he could be 227 pounds. I don't know if he weighs that much. So Mike must be between 5'9" and 5'10" if he can be 212. Okay. So the judging, this just tells you the poses they're going to hit. You have to have solid trunks. Okay, so these are just general rules. They don't have anything here about what they're looking for exactly. I'm sure that was laid out long ago in a video. Probably Tyler Mannion put it out back in the day. Yeah, Classic as always. Put that back up. Let's go back to this. Classic share screen. Probably shouldn't be saying this out loud all the time. Share screen and so forth. Probably gets annoying for some of you guys. But let's get back to your comments. All right. So what you were saying there. Classic is the best structure. You start saying Classic is an imitation of Arnold. It is bodybuilding with focus on aesthetics and X-frame. Mike ticks all the boxes. Yeah, I mean, obviously the sport has advanced since the Arnold days, because in the days, the 70s, when Arnold was competing, you know, especially the early and mid 70s, nobody was supposed to have big legs. They weren't trying to get huge legs. So you saw very, very mediocre thigh development. Sometimes what we would consider very, very weak hamstring development on these guys compared to what we see today. The glutes weren't very developed at all. They weren't trying to. The back development was nothing like it is today. So as bodybuilding progressed and evolved, and we started looking for more complete development overall, whereas in the old days, the old school days, I would say chest, arms, and shoulders and abs, yeah, they were big on the midsection. Those were the things the guys really emphasized and focused on developing. The back, they trained the back, and they were trying to grow the back, but nobody was trying to get a monstrous back. Nobody was trying to get gigantic tree trunk thighs back then. It just wasn't what anyone was interested in doing, because nobody had that until Platz came along. Really, nobody had gigantic thighs. He changed the game. And I'd say up until maybe Franco had pretty good back. Don't get me wrong. But Lee Haney's back in the 80s. That's when people started paying more attention. And once Dorian Yates started winning Olympias in 92, that's when everybody wanted to have a monstrous back. Samson is more classic than Mike. Wow, that's rough. I don't know. Mike. I'm a big fan of Mike. I'm a fan of all the top guys. I think they all look fantastic. Mike in particular. I mean, this guy's he does tick all the boxes. I mean, look at that V-taper that he hits the vacuum. It's a tiny, tiny waist. Nobody's going to be surprised if Mike walks away with the Olympia title, but he does have some very, very strong competition. Logan being one of these guys, Rough Diesel, Terrence Ruffin being another one who could certainly walk away with the title. But can I watch Offenbach? Because I like Urs. Offenbach is next week, so I don't have any idea. Easy EP09. So what's up, dude? You're the one that actually posted on his channel, EP09 on YouTube. If you go, there are some shots of Urs out in Milan, out and about, hitting some poses with fans. And I'm not overwhelmed with the size I see there. And I'm hoping on stage he looks a lot bigger than that, because if that's a representation of how big he is, he's going to have a lot of trouble today with these guys like Quint, Sergio, Mark Hector, Amer, William Martins, Budesheim, Louis Breed, Theo. These guys are all much, much bigger and thicker than him from what I can see now. But let's see what happens. People give Logan way too much credit. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Logan is some people think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and some people are like, I don't get it. But, that's bodybuilding. Some people feel the same way about Mike. People will look at Mike Sommerfeld and say, that's a 212 bodybuilder. What's the big deal? Why is this guy being spoken of as the next Olympia champion? Bumstead was much more aesthetically pleasing. But, I mean, what's aesthetically pleasing? Small joints, round muscles. He's got all that. And, Logan's no slouch. In terms of muscle mass, he doesn't compare to Mike. He's nowhere near the size of Mike. Absolutely not. Some backstage shots there with his coach, Patrick Tour. That's Trump. I don't know what Trump's doing there. That was a little flashback to the Arnold, showing us himself, same pose next to Bumstead. Bumstead looks pretty alarmed there for some reason. I don't know. What's going on, Chris? Not sure what this was. That looks like something from the 70s, though, doesn't it? The way they've done something in the video to give it sort of a film look. Yeah, it's him on a podium. That actually looks a lot like. It reminds me a lot of Arnold back in the Pumping Iron movie. So they've done like a film look process to the video. Oh, there's him and his son, Reese. Okay, so that was in Sarasota. They had that. I didn't realize they had the little posing days, as they used to call it, because the guys used to go up on these little. It's like a little stage on a stage. I can't tell if that's revolving or the cameraman's just moving around him. I really can't tell. I think it's spinning around that thing. It's hard to say. So there's him and his son Reese, him and Patrick again. I don't know who that's. Is that him as a wrestler for Halloween or something? I don't know. This was a posing video he put up a couple days ago. Oh, so he said this is the first time he had to really push to make the weight cap. Craziest thing. I'm never over. He's never 15 pounds over. So he stays within 15 pounds of his weight cap. And if you follow Logan, you know he stays very lean. This is a guy that does not add a lot of body fat in the offseason at all. 15 pounds for a guy who's competing at, I'm guessing, around 225 or so. That's pretty damn good. Pretty disciplined to stay that lean, to eat clean all year round, stay on the cardio. It's a nice enclosed pool he's got there too. Yeah. So he's Mike there is commenting, let's go. See you in Vegas, bro. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely a taller. I don't like to use the word lanky because I know it makes it sound like I'm calling him skinny. He's not skinny. He's got a lot of muscle on him. But compared to a shorter guy like Sommerfeld, Sommerfeld just looks a lot thicker. And again, I think it's what one of you guys just said with Sommerfeld's bone structure is he's got a very light bone structure. He's able to hold a lot more weight on his frame than you would think. Nice cross striations there in the triceps. I love to see that. That's something you don't see on too many of the open guys because a lot of them aren't willing to go down. They want to stay big and full, and some of them are site injecting and using a lot of insulin. So you don't see things like that. Those tricep cross striations, that is something else. 5'7". So his Mike is 5'7". Well, if he's 212 on stage, according to the rules of Classic Physique that we just saw on the IFBB Pro website, he must be between 5'8" and 5'9" if his weight cap is 212. What do I know? I mean, I'm 5'7.5" on a good day. Predictions for me, your mom's flip-flop in Deutschland. 100% what I truly believe is Mike and Ruff top two, and I believe only they will battle out in the end. Logan won't compete with him. I mean, Ruff was second at the Olympia tour, I think 3 times. He's a 2-time Arnold Classic champion. He is the reigning Pittsburgh Pro champion. So yeah, want to give Ruff Diesel some love? Why not? I think so. I like Terrence a lot. Cool guy, Ruff Diesel. I know this is about Logan, but what the heck? We're talking Classic Physique. We're talking the top guys. So let's give Mike a little bit of a Ruff. Let's give Terrence a little bit of a. Look at that. Yeah. Another fantastic physique. He's been knocking on the door of the Olympia title for a few years now, signing his Olympia contract. I'm not sure what contract that is. Yeah, this is 4 days ago. So he's obviously in prep for the Olympia. And he has improved. He took that whole year off and he put some size on. He kept his lines. The arms came up substantially. They were a weak point. They were holding him back, I believe, but no longer. That front double is fantastic. That is a great front double. Crowdsourcing posing advice. It was 5 days ago. I don't know if he's going to pose or just kind of stand there. He's going to pose. I'm hoping we get more than one pose this time, Ruff. Yeah, the classic division has been really a breath of fresh air because a lot of fans had turned their backs on bodybuilding, on open bodybuilding, especially the older fans who were, they remember the old days. They used to follow guys like Labrada, Lee Haney, Barry DeMay, Bob Paris. Here he is in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Ruff Diesel he's very, very good. Make no mistake. He's another guy we could see win this thing. We could see a few guys win this. There's no clear cut heavy favorite. Although I know Mike he's the favorite based pretty much on the fact that there's a nice graphic with him and Logan. Based on the fact that he was second place, and a lot of people felt that Mike actually beat Bumstead last year in some poses, and I'm not going to argue. Speak of the devil. Morning, Ron. What's up, dude? Didn't just benefit Mike, but more weight was allowed for short guys specifically. Yeah, I mean, they're trying. I mean, like I said, the Classic is a new division. 2016 was their first pro season, and there have been a lot of adjustments along the way that they're trying to perfect. The rules of the division, the standards, they're still trying to figure it out. I mean, even with open bodybuilding, there's no clear cut, this is exactly what we're looking for. We see different types of physiques win shows. Hot take, Lunsford will come fifth. Ooh, judgmental changes here. Now, we're talking about open. Yeah, that's fair enough. So you think it's going to be Samson, Nick. A lot of people have Samson and Nick as their first two. A lot of people in their predictions. Hadi, yeah. Hadi seems to be falling off in a lot of the fans' predictions. Andrew, Derek. You have Andrew beating Derek. I don't know about that. If Derek comes in really flat in the legs, I could see that happening. The way he did at the 23 Olympia, but even then, he still beat Martin Fitzwater and Andrew Jack. I'm sorry, the 24 Olympia. 24 Olympia. Logan's back is not even close. Oh, I agree. What are we judging? I don't know. Mike Sommerfeld is 5'8", allowed up to 187. I don't know, dude. You say he's 5'8". Let me see. All right, if he's 5'8", he can be 190. If he's between up to and including 5'8", so if it's exactly 5'8", he can be 197. Even if he was only 5'7", he could be 192. I think you might be J-Man, I think you might be thinking of the weight caps before they bumped them up. Or maybe you're thinking of the amateurs. Yeah, I think you're thinking of the amateur weight caps for Classic Physique, which are different. They're lighter. I know what they are because I was, for a minute, thinking of making a comeback in Classic, even though there's not a lot Classic about me, except I'm a really good poser. But physique-wise, no, not really. But I did look into, like, how much could I weigh? What would I have to get down to? And 187 as an amateur in the NPC, that's what I would have needed to come down to. And I did not. So I think that's what you're thinking of. I just want to finish up Rough Diesel here before we get back to this. This is a video about Logan. I don't want to steal his thunder, even though we're really talking about all the top Classic Physique guys. I mean, with Urs gone from Classic, with I know we still have Ramon Dino. I haven't mentioned Ramon, so my bad on that. My fans out there, my viewers from Brazil, my viewers in Brazil, my bad. I forgot about Ramon Dino. Another one people are saying should go open, but look at that. Ruffin looked fantastic. Was that Pittsburgh? That was a New York pro. Yeah. It was a great look for him. Absolutely. That was with, I think he's next to the young kid, Jose Manuel Munoz. I think that's who he was with there. Yeah. Urs was still flat on Thursday. Only started carving up late Thursday. So the picks may happen while he was flat. Yeah, but, carving up is only going to do so much. I have seen guys fill up substantially. Don't get me wrong. But if someone looks pretty undersized compared to what they're going to be standing next to, I did not see the mass on Urs. Even if he fills up like 30% from what I was looking at. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see till he gets on stage. You can't judge people by how they look walking around taking pictures with fans. He has a more classic look than Christians ever did. All right. Well, I should go back to Logan. It's his video. Well, I don't think he would mind. I'm sure he has. Yeah, these guys have so much respect for each other. There's a lot of camaraderie in Classic. More so than open, I would say. What the hell's that? Orange Fury. It was 6 weeks ago. These are old pictures. Let's leave that. That's a nice Gilco picture. Gilco takes the best pictures, man. Best videos, best pictures. They're just pretty damn awesome. Okay. If height is not a factor, then a guy with 5 feet height, same structure as Mike can win the Olympia. Yeah, that's been an argument because we've had guys like Sean Clarita who won the 212 Olympia twice at a height of 5'1", which is basically just over 5 foot. And Sean has done pretty well in the open. He's won an open show. He took third in Prague last year behind Martin Fitzwater and Chris Bumstead. So he does very well. But again, being shorter in stature, it's really not the height, it's the structure. Sean doesn't have like the widest clavicles. I mean, Sommerfeld, he's not a short guy. 5'8" is not a short guy, unless you're like on a dating website or you're talking about the other sports like football and basketball, baseball. 5'8" is pretty short. But he has very good proportions. He has really good structure, very good structure, Sommerfeld. Wide clavicles, narrow waist. The arms and legs aren't too short or too long, just very good proportions. What time is Italy show? It's going to start in 40 minutes, supposedly, if it starts on time, but it's going to be bikini and wellness before anything. He's EP09. I think Urs has a lot more size he has put on. He jumped the gun and open, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I want to reserve judgment. You can see Italy Pro here. No, I won't be streaming it live. There's a pay-per-view, and I am not doing a watch-along. The people that do watch-alongs, like Xavier Willis of Desktop Bodybuilding, I'm sure he'll be doing one, so check that out. He can't stream the video at the same time because that would be copyright infringement. That would be stealing from the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view people would be very angry because instead of you paying $30, $40, whatever it is, I didn't even look at the prices. But instead of giving them money and buying the pay-per-view, you're watching it for free on some YouTube channel. Of course, they're not going to stand for that, and they will report you. Olympia weekend, they have a team. They have a couple people dedicated to just scouring YouTube, doing searches and finding out who is streaming it live and reporting them and getting their videos taken down. It happened to me, even when they had a free pay-per-view one time. Curious to know. We got to wait to see. Actually, we have to see what he looks like. I mean, I think he could be as high as second. I think he could be as low as sixth. He's the big question mark. That's why in my graphics, I put question marks over Urs, and he was wearing a tracksuit while everyone else is posing because he's the only one that has not shown his physique at all. Everyone else has been putting up photos, videos, updates as they've been preparing for the show. Everyone except Urs Kalecinski. He's leaving us in suspense, which I admire that. He's finally, we have a surprise because there aren't a lot of surprises these days in pro bodybuilding, classic, all the divisions, because people post constantly. In the old days, we didn't see people in the off season. We didn't see them prepping. We only saw photos, videos. You'd have to usually buy a VHS. So ESPN would actually stream. ESPN used to air shows like the Olympia and the Arnold and the USA and the Nationals. But point being, we didn't see these guys until they were on stage at the show. We didn't see them getting ready for it. So it was always a surprise. Dorian was the king. They called him the Shadow because he would hide away in the gym. And aside from that one famous series of black and white photographs in 1993, taken at 6 weeks out from the show, those black and white shots with the black socks, Kevin Horton shots, pictures. That's the only time we ever saw Dorian in prep for a show. And the pictures were taken far enough out from the show to make the last issue of Flex magazine before the Olympia. So dude, people were just losing their shit. People were going crazy because back then you never saw update pictures. You never saw that. Now we're spoiled. We see it. Mike has better aesthetics than Rough Diesel. I still think he does, and only because Terrence still needs more triceps. More triceps. The biceps are right there. The tris are still not as full as round as I'd like to see them. Tobias Schmitz. It's going to start. I don't think you're going to see the open men on stage for about 2 hours from now. Urs will be 5th to 7th place. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing would be surprising about Urs because we have no idea what he looks like. So if he comes out, I could tell from the shots that EP09 posted on his last YouTube video. You guys want to go check that out. I could tell he's definitely in shape. He's lean. So that was something in our group chats on the MD chat. We're speculating if he's really 260 pounds, is he even going to be in shape? But you could see he's lean. His face is sucked in. You can see the separations, nice, deep and clear in the shoulders and the arms. So he's definitely in shape. And he says he was 260 pounds yesterday. It just has extremely clean lines. Oh, totally. Again, I'm a big Sommerfeld fan. Where's that Logan? Here we go. Logan versus Mike. So this was 6 months ago. Almost exactly 6 months ago at the Olympia is what we're looking at here. Square pec, sort of like Steve Reeves. Yeah, it's supposed to start at 11, Dragon Goose. 11 o'clock, which is 33 minutes away, but that's assuming it starts on time, and they're also going to go through bikini and wellness before they get to open bodybuilding. Logan Franklin, a straight G physique. Yeah, that's a good comparison, Witch Doctor. Frank Zane. Frank Zane was not a massive guy. He was 5'9", anywhere from 185 to 195 at his heaviest on the Olympia stage. So 5'8" and 195. I mean, even Somerfeld's bigger than that. And this was a guy who won 3 Mr. Olympias in a row, 1977, 78, 79. And remember, these were the years when the Olympia had a lightweight and a heavyweight class for over and under 200 pounds. So they would have one judging round to determine the under 200-pound champ, and a second judging round, another judging round, I should say, for the over 200. And then there would be an overall judging. And Zane beat Robbie Robinson 1 or 2 years, and he beat Mike Mentzer for the overall Mr. Olympia. So, Robbie Robinson can always say he was the heavyweight Mr. Olympia champion. He did become the first Masters Olympia champion in 1994. And the late Mike Mentzer was technically the heavyweight Mr. Olympia champ. I think that was the year before the 80 Olympia, where Arnold came back and drove Mike Mentzer into a very early retirement. I think he was 30 years old. Was he even 30? He was very young. Yeah, Milan. It's supposed to start at 5 p.m. in Milan. Trying to buy the Elite Pro stream here, but the website is acting up. Well, that's no bueno. No bueno. There's Mike winning. Well-earned victory. So I've heard that. I don't want to talk shit, but Giles has said the same thing. Is the Italy Pro has never been known to have a really good quality live stream. The only awesome quality live streams I've seen in our sport are the ones where Gilco does. Gilco Productions. It's a team of brothers. And they do a fantastic job. I mean, it's like 4 or 5K, 20K cameras. I don't know. They're good cameras. Andrew has a better frame. For me, when I think of Mr. Olympia, Andrew and Samson, the structure. Andrew needs to have more mass. With Andrew, I see two things. I see he needs a little bit more posterior chain, definitely more hamstrings, more back thickness, and overall condition. He gets into pretty good condition, not awesome condition. He grew at the weight out of the NPC. Okay, so thank you, Matt. But we're talking about the pros. Yeah, we're talking about the pros. NPC is for the amateurs. The pros are allowed higher weight caps for height. So, like you said, 187. So if you're 5'8", up to and including 5'8", you can be 187 as an amateur. For a pro, if you're 5'8" exactly, you can be 197. If you're even a little bit over 5'8", anything between 5'8" and 5'9", you can be 204 pounds. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Once you turn pro as a classic physique athlete, competitor, you are given another, I think it's about 10 pounds. I know it's not exactly 10 pounds for everybody. It's not that clear, but it's pretty similar. It's pretty close. It's roughly 10 pounds. Logan and Ruff are classic. Mike and Ramon have way too much muscle. Not hating, just giving an opinion. Yeah, you know what, Barry? Any opinion is neither right nor wrong. It's just your opinion. So if you think Mike Sommerfeld is the ultimate classic physique, you're not right and you're not wrong. That's just your opinion. Because this is a subjective sport. It's judged like a beauty pageant. So if you ask 10 men, who's the most beautiful woman in the world, you might get 10 different answers. You probably will get 10 different answers. It's very subjective. I know there are criteria: structure, mass, shape, proportion, balance, symmetry, left to right, conditioning, presentation. There are things that they're looking for. There are standards and criteria. It's still up to the individual interpretation of the judges. It's a judge sport. And we even see cases where the judges change their minds between judging and the confirmation round. Even sometimes when the physiques don't change much, you'll see people go up or down a place or two. Check out the NPC rules. Yeah, Matt. I mean, but we're talking about the pros right now. So the pros are heavier. The pros they're not the amateurs, so it's different weight caps. Logan is overly hyped right now. He hasn't won any top show. He's probably from top 10. He's been top 10 before. I don't see him out of the top 5. But yeah, we do have Breon is still staying in Classic. We all thought he was moving on. So I'm going to forget some people, so please don't get upset. Because I don't think Wesley, is Wesley even qualified? I don't think Wesley's doing it. Wesley hasn't been top 5 yet anyway. But you have Mike, you have Logan, you have Terrence Ruffin, you have Ramon Dino, Urs is gone, you have Breon Ansley. Grego's very good. He could be a top 5 guy this year. Mike has better lines. Ruffin's more muscular. Somehow he's not Classic. Well, Black Patron, who says he's not Classic? Some people, like I said, Classic is it's a term that's really open to interpretation. What is a Classic physique? Some people think it should be closer to bodybuilding in terms you should have more mass, but still smaller waist. Regardless of how you look at Classic, everyone pretty much agrees. Yeah, they do have to have a small flat midsection. You can't have a wide waist, a thick midsection. You're not going to do well in Classic. No matter how good your overall muscle shape may be, the structure has to be very pleasing. You have to have a very good V taper, similar to men's physique, except obviously the legs factor in a lot more in Classic physique than they do in men's physique. They're looking for proportions, every body part in proportion to all the other body parts, muscle groups. Conditioning is very important. Presentation is very important. Someone who poses very awkwardly, clumsily is not going to do well in Classic. Fuck, this is nonsense. Is this nonsense? Fuck, is this nonsense? I don't know. Shout to Drescher Visuals, his video contents, Muscle and Strength. Oh, yeah. Cool as fuck. Yeah, Muscle and Strength, that's a YouTube channel that has fantastic video quality. Fantastic. See, there you go. I knew I forgot somebody. Josema Munoz, who's only 23 years old. Same age as Sam Sulek. He actually he was he 5th place at the Olympia last year, and he was only 22 years old. Josema destroys Logan. Mike Ruff, Josema Ramon. Why don't we look at Josema for a minute, huh? I know I should have pulled up Ramon first because the Brazilian people, they love him. Josema Beast. Jose Manuel Munoz from Spain. That was him at the New York Pro. Yeah, he's a kid. I'm going to say kid, but look at that. Wow. That is just, you can't get more conditioned than, and look at the back on him. He's got I will say in the back shots, he's definitely beating Logan. Logan does not have back thickness like that at all. Not even close. And I know it's just one muscle group. It's just one muscle group. Yeah, here he was at the last Olympia. He wasn't second, but he was in a call out there with Bumstead. He was right there. And he was 22 years old there. 22. Yeah. I think he's just showing a clothing line. Maybe reps. Good for him. This was yesterday because he's in prep. They're all prepping for the Olympia. Look at that back. 23 years old, Jose Manuel Munoz from España. Fantastic. Yeah, he is a fantastic competitor. Chicos, perdido de la mejor carnicería mundo. Por aquí tenemos 5 kilos. 5 kilos of chicken. Anyway, yeah, look at that. I think that's a bumper plate on the end. I don't know why he's doing that, like a rubber bumper plate. Yeah, but he is definitely he's in the mix. I don't know if he's winning. I don't see him beating Somerfeld or Ruff. I mean, he was very close. I think it was only a couple points between him and Ruffin at the Pittsburgh show. He was very close. Look at that conditioning. This was a week ago. It's his clothing brand that he represents. Did I just go back to the same exact? 23 years old. Oh, okay. I guess he was 23. My bad. I thought he turned 23 like a week later. He's still young, put it that way. I know people get very upset. Like, you said he was 22. Last year he was 23. We'll see my beast. I'm just trying to find a video where it's just him posing, but I get fooled a lot of times because I think they're posing, and it's just the first 2 seconds, and then the rest is them with their supplements or something. This was a few weeks back. He's already much, much sharper. I mean, we see the kind of condition this guy gets in. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think I would have to keep going way down to find like the posing routine, but yeah, see, they fooled me. The thumbnail was the posing. I just want to leave that one picture up because it is just that the rear double bicep on Josema is just ridiculous. Look at that. That is amazing. That is amazing. Is it classic though? Is that too much back development for classic? I like Logan because I'm built like him, not gonna lie. Team Army, yeah. He is a United States Army veteran. He's a combat veteran. I have so much respect for that. I think he said most of his friends are ex-military as well. It's a brotherhood. And clearly he learned quite a bit of discipline that he applied towards bodybuilding. Logan is hype. He won't crack top 3. Fan took a video of Urs, his arms still look small. I saw that. I still have my favorites, but like Somerfeld, they all look amazing. Yeah, I mean, Classic is a fantastic group of guys. Competition in Italy starts at 5 p.m. in Milan. Joe Bandit by them will be the King Classic. I don't know about that. The Goldfish says, what constitutes Classic is ultimately whatever the judges decide and want to see from the athletes. Exactly. It's open to interpretation, as it should be. Because if they said it's, you have to be tall and have this type of structure, that would immediately eliminate a lot of guys, and that wouldn't be fair. And if you said, no, we want you to be a little shorter, nobody over 5'8" or 5'9" can have a truly classic physique, well, that wouldn't be fair to the taller guys. There's a lot of different types of physiques in Classic, just like there are in Open. Muscle matters. See how good the stream. Andrew should do post-Olympia shows, get early qualification, long off-season training posterior twice a week. I would like to see, I know Psycho Chris Lewis is a very, very good trainer. I still think Milos is the best guy out there, Milos Sarshev, in terms of adding muscle mass, overall muscle mass, and bringing up body parts. I don't think Samson Dauda. No, I'm certain Samson Dauda would not be where he is today had he not been coached by Milos for those 3 years. I think it was. Stream just started. That early? It's not 5 p.m. over there yet. They must have like a splash screen up or something. Well, their naps cappuccino break since late. No, it wasn't supposed to start till 5 p.m. and they're 6 hours ahead, so that would be early. Sounds like it'll be prejudging today, then confirmations right after. Yeah, EP. The way I've seen these shows, sometimes they will do a really quick intermission, like 15, 20 minutes, if you consider that quick. Sometimes they don't do any intermission at all. They just roll straight on through, which is good because it's a late start. I mean, it's already not for us here. They're ahead of us. So if it's starting at 5 p.m., you figure judging is probably going to run about 2 hours roughly for 3 divisions. And finals probably about the same. So even without an intermission, you're looking at, 4 to 5 hours of competition, and you throw another half hour on there, could stretch it out to 6. Classic is a matter of opinion. Too much muscle might be too much for one competitor, or good for another, as long as one part. Yeah, like I said, whatever you consider to be classic, you're really not wrong. You're not right. Wesley's not doing it. Thank you. I didn't think he was. I think Mike is one of the best overall. He will do well in whatever division if he keeps his flow. Yeah, I don't see him leaving. I don't see Mike leaving Classic. The win. That was the win. I don't see him leaving Classic for a while, just like I don't see Keon leaving 212 for another couple of years. Especially if Mike wins, which he has a very, very high probability of winning the Olympia this year. He's going to stay Classic for as long as he can, I think, unless he outgrows the division. And he might never outgrow the division. I mean, Bumstead never really outgrew the division. He never got so huge. He kept his weight down. I mean, Bumstead stayed on very minimal gear in the offseason. I don't think he was trying to get any bigger because he was already at the weight cap. And, you know, he didn't see a point in adding a bunch of muscle that would have to diet away, which is what we see. Ramon has had to do that. That's to diet away muscle to make weight. Urs, he got so sick of dieting away the muscle that he left Classic. Breon was going to leave Classic because of that reason, and I guess he decided not to. Prejudgment final. Snick Walker probably has most of his weight located in this. Oof! Rough. That's rough. You're harsh. Josema is another one can do well in the open. In some shots, I still think he needs a lot more overall mass. From the back, he's actually one guy that looks a lot bigger from the back, Josema. I think he could hold his own with almost any guy in the open in the back double bicep and the rear lat spread, rear double and rear lat. Side shots, his arms need to be bigger. From the front, he's just not as thick and full as the open guys. I don't know if he's at the cap. If he's not at the cap, yeah, like I used to always ask Breon, because he was having trouble for quite a while making weight, but he was talking about making improvements. I said, how do you make improvements to like this or that body part? Because that's going to be extra weight. He said, just get in better condition. And my reply was, dude, you're about as shredded as you can get. I don't know where else you think it's going to come from. Classic can be a good stepping stone for younger bodybuilders. I want to put Ramon up because I feel remiss. Ramon is a very, very good bodybuilder, Classic Physique competitor, I should say. It's bodybuilding. It's all bodybuilding. So I don't want to leave him out of this discussion that we're having. I know he did a video where he was in a club the other day. Oh, there he is with Urs. That wasn't last year because Urs had the Mohawk last year, so that was an older show. Was that the Arnold? I think it might have been the Arnold. Trying to find some posing with Ramon. Ramon Rocha Quiros. Yeah, he does have some. Ramon's got some of the best arms. Absolutely. Look at those things. That was 8 weeks ago. Let's look at his most. What was the last update we have from him? It was 3 weeks ago. It's more of a montage. This is 3 weeks ago, so that was 9 weeks out from the Olympia. Condition's never been a problem for Ramon. He's always nails the condition. And I think the Classic guys, because a lot of them struggle to make the weight, that sort of guarantees excellent condition because they're losing all the fat humanly possible just to get down. And some of them have to lose muscle. So, of course, the condition is going to be spectacular for most of these Classic guys consistently. You don't see the Classic guys miss their mark in terms of condition anywhere near as often as you do the open guys. Because open guys, for the open bodybuilders, size is more of a concern. So a lot of them, they're worried about getting too small or they don't want to lose their size and fullness. So sometimes they will sacrifice. They won't get as lean as they can or should at times because they're trying to stay big and full, especially when they know such and such guy is going to be competing and this guy's big and full and huge. And they don't want to look small next to that guy. They want to beat that guy. So they don't come in as lean and light as they should. They see the scale as like 240 and like, that's it. I can't get under 240. With the Classic guys, they have a limit that they have to get down. They have to get down to a certain weight. And for many of them, it's a struggle to get down to that weight. They really have to suffer at the end. Very, very low calories, carbs, a lot of cardio. So they're going to be shredded. There's not even a question. Definitely a subjective sport. Never in a million years I have rough beating Josema, not even close to my opinion. Well, I mean, bodybuilding is so subjective. Look at Pittsburgh with Nick and Derek. So many people had Nick beating Derek. A lot of people had Derek beating him. It was very close. I mean, clearly it was so close. Steve Weinberger had to come out with this sudden death round just to try to figure it out. Josema is right at the cap. I don't know. I don't know if he is. That's a good question. Josema has been stretching for months. The plan is to gain. Oh, he's trying to get taller. He's trying to gain a half a centimeter. So he's so close to the next height division, because they have height divisions, basically, if you think about it. If he can get to the next height division, where that's 5, 9, 10, 11, 6 foot, whatever it is, they give him it's like another 10 pounds. So I hope it works. Hoping there's almost no tall guys. 212, there are no tall guys. Well, 212, there can't be tall guys. There can't, because if anyone's 6 foot and 212, they're way too small. They're going to look like a swimmer next to these 5'2" to 5'6", 212 guys. I'd say the average 212 guy is between 5'4" and 5'6". They tend to be shorter. You don't see many of them taller than 5'6". Open, I think it's just because not many tall guys get into bodybuilding, period. A lot of taller guys don't have the right bone structure, where you need wide clavicles, narrow hips, and this is critical. You can't have very long arms and legs as a bodybuilder. You'll never have a really thick, dense-looking physique with super long arms and legs. And a lot of taller guys, a lot of guys who are north of 6'2", they have very long legs, very long. I mean, their inseams on their pants are probably like 40 inches or something. I think mine's like 12 inches. This guy is classic. Ramon Dino, yeah. 440 in Italy right now. Logan Franklin is such a great poser. This guy is 1,000% classic. I should probably put Logan up against the videos. The videos about Logan. This was him at Arnold Classic, where he took a very, very close second to Mike Sommerfeld and did earn Best Poser award, as he usually does. Italian show starting. Is there anybody watching without the $30 streaming? No, Brian. You can see photos if you go to Desktop Bodybuilding. I know he's doing a watch along. Desktop Bodybuilding, Xavier. He does screen captures. Muscle Discord does too. Screen captures of the show as it's happening, and he'll show you the pictures, but nobody can show you the stream at the same time the stream is happening. They risk getting a strike on their channel. I had one on my channel for doing that with Olympia streaming last year, and it took me 2 or 3 months to get it removed. And in that time, I couldn't do any live videos. With the strike on when your channel is given a strike on a live video, you can't do another live video until that strike is removed, and it might never get removed. Yeah, today's the show. $37. No, it's not cheap, but I've seen a lot of them that are $50 or $60, so it's middle of the road price wise. Brazil. Restreams tend to be shut down. Yeah, I mean, think about it. You say, well, why can't they do that? Think about this, guys. You know, the UFC, the fighting, they have pay-per-views. If some MMA YouTube channel, a fan channel, decided, I'm going to stream UFC 350 or whatever on my channel at the same time, and I'm going to just give my own commentary on it, I promise you, the UFC would have that channel shut down before you could say free stream. They would have a field day with that. So no, I don't buy most. I feel the show is a bit more interesting. Why not? Kuba will surprise us. He could. Hoping Urs brings it today. Do a post show review. Absolutely. Yeah, I do want to do a post show review. A bit worried about Ramon. Last 2 shows, he was sweating a lot. Maybe gets nervous, feels more pressure because of that. I don't know. So that was 3 weeks ago, Ramon. I was curious if he's got anything more recent. We did see him in the club. Okay, this is 4 days ago with Aceto. This is 5 weeks out. I think they're showing like a montage here. Yeah, there's really nothing to go by there. Old shots. He doesn't do a ton of physique updates, Ramon. I think that's the outfit he went clubbing in. They showed him like dancing around. I don't know what happened there. That's a good shot. I'll just leave that up while we take some more comments. I was a Pittsburgh Pro. It was nuts. Oh, I've been training shoulders. Yeah, I've been maybe a little bit more than I should have been doing, to be honest with you. But yeah, I've been training the shoulders. Chest and shoulders. I can't go very heavy on chest pressing. I can only go super light on fly movements are very painful if I try to go heavy still, but I'm 9.5 weeks post-surgery. Thanks for asking. Sarah Monk Powers, Pittsburgh, around. That was nuts too. Did Flex have wide clavicles? Flex Wheeler or Flex Lewis? I assume you mean Wheeler. They weren't wide, but they weren't narrow. They were average, and he put a lot of muscle mass on top of them. Nothing close to what Nick and Derek. I was there. Nick destroyed Derek. Well, I wasn't there. Appreciate you sharing this time. We do live commentary on the show. No, I can't do live comment. I could if I was as adept at doing the screenshots as Xavier Willis and Matt are from Muscle Discord. They're good at doing screen grabs, so they will show photos, screen captures of the stream, because you can show that without getting in trouble. If you do live video, if you have the stream on your channel, you're basically restreaming. You can definitely lose your YouTube channel, and I need my YouTube channel. I have big dreams and goals and plans, so no. Andre Pierrin, I don't know who that is. Ramon just did a guest posing show. He's full physique on stage. Channel Max Nutrition. Max Nutrition, okay. Max Nutrition. I mean, Max Titanium? That would be Ramon. Well, there's his sponsor. Okay, well, he's got his pants on. I don't know why he couldn't at least put some shorts on, some like bike shorts or something. But okay, there he is. Believe it or not, trans same gender as Piotr Wuchowicz. Guy looks absolutely amazing. I don't know who that is, but thank you. All right, guys, it's been over an hour. I think I made my point. Is Logan true classic? We got into good discussion about what constitutes classic, and it is in the eye of the beholder. It's open to interpretation. Some people believe Logan Franklin is the epitome of classic physique. Some people think Ruffin or Josema or Ramon or Breon or Somerfeld. And you know what? Whatever you believe, you're not wrong. That's just your opinion. You are entitled to it. You're a fan. You watch these shows. You support these shows. The sport wouldn't have a sport without the fans. So your opinion matters. Your opinion counts. I will be doing a wrap-up of the Italy show because I don't think there's going to be any break. I don't think there's going to be a break between judging and finals, and that show is starting momentarily. So keep your notifications on, guys, your notification bell, and I will see and talk to you in a little while. Thanks for watching. Peace.